right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly divine the word in truth and sincerity. And Shalom to you believers out there at the Akim Wa'agwa. So, I was listening to one of the brothers from GMS Houston. He did a video, just roughly paraphrasing the title. It says, no matter what, the show must go on. And listen to that lesson, and them brothers was bringing out, good precepts. And it prompted me and inspired me to do this lesson. Just reiterating, they brought out Genesis 32. When our forefather, the one brother brought out the example of fighting through the pain and through the struggle. And he brought up of our forefather, Jacob, all right, Yaiquab in Genesis 32. And I was like, yeah, that's a beautiful example, all right. So as you can see in Genesis 32, the heading, it reads, Jacob wrestles. And what I did was I looked up wrestle, all right. And the definitions it gave me, all right, number one, it says to contend by grappling with and striving to trip or throw an opponent down or off balance. And I was just thinking, in this walk, that's the job of Satan to, contend with us, all right, to try to trip us up, to try to throw us off balance, all right. And that's what I want to get. All right. And this lesson shouldn't be long. I just thought the brother's lessons were beautiful. All right. 1 Peter 5:8, it says what? Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour, right? And that's a part of this struggle in the walk. Okay, you have the devil, the spiritual being Satan, actually trying to sift you out, man. All right, trying to throw you off balance, trying to trip you up. All right, like it said in its definition. All right, contend by grappling. We always at war spiritually. All right, with these demons. All right, now when I went to definition 2, it says to combat an opposing tendency or force. Right, again, no matter what, we gotta keep, moving. We gotta keep fighting, man. That's the word. We gotta keep the fight. All right. We gotta fight no matter what. All right. That's the condition of the battle. So again, in number 2, it says to combat an opposing tendency or force. Right. And I thought about this. And this brought me to Ephesians, the 6th chapter. All right, because the Lord gave us instructions how to combat, all right, the opposition, our ops, okay, which is the spiritual demon Satan, all right, and these demons on a spiritual level. So Ephesians 6, starting at verse 11, it says, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. See, all right, and we just got that that Peter, that 5:8. All right, what was that? 1 Peter 5:8 telling us, hey, be sober, be vigilant. All right, and right here is telling us what? To put on that whole armor. So what? We can combat our ops, man, that opposing force. All right, verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, right? And that's why we got to put on that armor, man. And how we put on that armor? Well, actually learning the scriptures, knowing the scriptures, but applying them as well. All right, we have to, as we go on, learn how to apply these scriptures. And that's something I'm working on more and more. You just can't teach, or you just can't listen and hear and be hype. No, we have to actually apply them. All right. Verse 13, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all to stand, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with the truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye are where ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Right? All right. These are instructions. All right. This is a playbook. The scriptures is a playbook how to what? Quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, man. All right. Again, going back to number 2, definition number 2. This is the scriptures are playbook how to combat an opposing tendency or force. Okay. Now, definition 3, it says what? To engage in deep thought, consideration, or debate. All right. To engage in deep thought, consideration, or debate. All right. That's a part of wrestling. That's a part of these. That's a part of being in this walk is, consideration, even debate. All right. Even engaging in deep thought. We should be thinking upon the scriptures. But Satan also use our mind. Everything starts in the mind. All right. Even evil deeds, wickedness, you going off, it starts in your mind before you actually take action. All right. And that's why your mind got to be right. You got to have your mind right. And I want to go here. Let's go here to 2 Timothy. All right, the 2nd chapter. And what do it say? 2 Timothy 2:3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of a Mashiach, of Yahushua of Mashiach. All right. So, we got instructions that we have to endure, man. And we have to endure to the end. All right. We got to endure to the end. We got to endure the hard times. That's what it's about. All right. We got to be soldiers in this thing. Verse 4, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. Right. And a lot of times, you can think about the past. All right. You can think about certain things. All right. All right. Being in them deep thoughts. Okay. Wrestling in your mind with the past. But no, you should be focused on the future. Because the future, Lord willing, we'll be a part of that number is what? Salvation. And then ultimately the kingdom of heaven. All right. Continuing on in verse 4, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Right. So we've been called to be soldiers. All right. Lord willing, we'll be chosen. But, when you're called in his ministry, all right, you're ultimately chosen to be a soldier. All right. Meaning what? So what do soldiers do? They fight. All right. You don't need a soldier if it's not a battle. All right. By default, if it's not a battle, you don't need a soldier, realistically. All right. So this is a battle, man. All right. And everything started in the mind. Matter of fact, let me go here because when you go to Romans, the 7th chapter, all right, again, we always wrestling with this flesh. All right. It's a constant battle. When you go to Romans 7:21, it says, let me see. I'm going to start at verse 18. It says, for I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. See, it's a battle. All right, it's a battle. Because the spirit is weak, but the flesh, matter of fact, let me get that. Let me get that real quick. Oh, yeah, I made a mistake. Sorry. All right. Yup, Matthew 26:41. It says, watch and pray that ye not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak, right? The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. All right. And to wrestle, when you go back to definition 3, it says to engage in deep thought, consideration, or debate, right? You have certain debates in your mind. All right, I know I ain't supposed to be doing this, but you might have them deep thoughts about who you were in the past. All right. And you had to drop a lot of things. All right. So going back in Romans 7, which is a good thing, man, because, nothing's going to compare to the kingdom of heaven, man. Nothing going to compare to being that first fruits. Nothing is going to compare to having that hedge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Always, as we have now, but especially in times of trouble, man. Not the money, girls, cars, clothes, none of that is going to compare, man, because all that's going to pass away anyway. But continuing on in Romans 7:18, it says what? For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not. For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. So Apostle Paul, everybody dealt with this, man. Even our Lord Yahushua. All right. Yahushua had to deal with temptations. He had to deal with niggas. He had to deal with the battles. All right. It wasn't easy for him. Verse 20. Now, if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. Right. These chains of darkness, just by default in these bodies, sin is with us, is present. That's a part of the battle. Verse 21, I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me. Right, that's a part of the battle. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is so weak. All right, but guess what? No matter what, we gotta fight, man. In the good times, we gotta fight. The hard times, we gotta fight. When we tired, we gotta fight. All right. When stuff is going on in our life, man, we gotta continue to fight. Brothers that's teachers, they have a lot going on, and they still what? They still go out there and teach, man. They still putting lessons out. They can have something really going on. They can have an ailment in their body. Their girl could have left them. They sad about it, whatever. Lost a job, whatever. Hey, we gotta fight. Brothers, sisters alike, in this walk, we gotta be fighters. All right. Verse 22, for I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man, but I see another law in my members, warring, against the law of my mind and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members, right? And everybody in this walk go through this. This is a powerful chapter right here. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I first read it, I'm like, wow, because this is the Apostle Paul, as we say, just kicking it, keeping it real. All right. He just kicking it. He just, bringing it out, man. Something that a lot of us deal with. You know what I'm saying? Verse 24, O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? And that answer is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. That's who's going to deliver us from these sinful bodies. Okay? All right, so now going back to the definition of wrestle. Number 4, it says to engage in or as if in a violent or determined struggle. All right. And that's this walk. You know what I'm saying? Hey, things probably could get violent. Now we're not to go out there and just be, doing things. But hey, if you got to defend yourself, you got to defend yourself. But, you might have a demon. Sometimes them demons, man, hop on people and, hey, you never know. There's probably been brothers and sisters in this walk that have had to defend themselves from these demons out here. All right. But a determined struggle. All right. A determined struggle. And Satan is determined to have you struggle in this walk. It's not going to be easy, man. And that's why it's going to bring me to this scripture right here. All right, going to Acts the 14th chapter in verse 22. What do it say? Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation, much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High, right? So through much tribulation, all right, through much struggle, through much fight, All right, through much of opposing tendency, of that opposing force against us, through, you know, these people in the world where demons hop on them, the spiritual being Satan, trying to what? Trip us up, throw us off balance. And when I read these definitions, I'm like, wow, that's powerful, man. All right, because this is a part of what we have to go through in this walk. All right, again, in verse 22, it says what? Through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Okay, so now just to go to the account of our forefather Jacob. All right, Yaiquab. Okay, what's that? Genesis 32. All right, let me read it. It says Jacob wrestled. All right, starting at verse 24, it says, and Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint. So, you know, once this angel seen like, wow, this guy's not giving up, he threw his thigh out of place. And I don't know if you ever had a bone out of place. I have. It's not no pretty thing, man. It's very painful. And you got to think, like the brothers were saying, hey, if you was like in an NBA game or NFL game and somebody hip or foot or whatever get thrown out of place, that person's going to be escorted out. It's going to be over with for them. But you see our forefather, Jacob, he kept going, man. He ain't stopped, no matter what. All right? The fatigue set in, thighs out of joint, but guess what? He kept going. Let me continue on. All right, so it said he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. So Jacob like, nah, man, I want what I want. I want this blessing. You gonna give it to me. I ain't letting you go. Even with the joint out of place. All right, think about that. That's the stock we come from. That's our forefather. That's Israel right there. All right. That's why we born fighters, man. All right. Verse 27, and he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with the Most High and with men, and has prevailed. Right. And that's what's going to happen. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. We're going to prevail, man. It's already written. Somebody's going to prevail. All right, Lord willing, it be me or you, and me and you. All right, out there listening. All right, but guess what? To prevail, that means we have to fight no matter what. Things going to go up, things going to go down, man. Time's going to get hard. Again, somebody might lose their job. Somebody might lose their home, man. Somebody might lose their loved ones. All right. Lose their husband, their wife. No matter what, we got to keep fighting, keep being in the faith. All right. It's going to be times where you not in the spirit. It's going, you know what I'm saying? You got to fight through it. No matter what. All right. So, I just wanted to bring this out, Lord willing, it was edifying to the next lesson. Shalom.